So I want to play Whoopi Goldberg, who every time, I know, Yaku's already like, oh my gosh, you have to play a clip from The View again. Every time I'm like.
Play a scene from Sister Act. That was her best moment, and then it went downhill from there.
How is it possible that this show is still on? Who is watching this show?
It's underwritten by the Democratic Party.
It must be. It actually is really depressing if you think about it. That a show like this is still profitable, which means people are still watching it, which means people actually consume this trash. But I want to play Whoopi Goldberg talking about, Joe Biden running for democracy, which of course we are not a democracy, but they like to say we are a democracy. So they ingrain it in your head so that you think that we are a democracy when we're not. But she talked about Trump, and if he wins, he's going to round people up and put them in camps and stuff. Watch.
What's interesting, I'm sorry. What's interesting for me is that
yes,
people's faith in the country is waning. That's the thing that's pissing me off, because in fact, there's a reason Joe Biden ran the way he did. There's a reason he's running for democracy now, because that's really what's at stake. You worried that you can't pay your bill? Wait till the other guy becomes president, and you won't have to worry about it because you'll be in some camp somewhere, because that's his promise. His promise to us is he's going to force people to do his bidding. That's what he said. I'm going to be good on day one, and I'm going to turn into this other person. So here's the deal. This is all up to you. This is all up to you. We can sit up here till we're green in the face. But this really comes down to the people. What is the country you want? Do you want the country that you kind of thought you had, where we all get to say what we think and we don't have to be afraid of being American? And believing that, there will be people who come in, and some will get in quick, and some will take a different route, but they're coming here for a reason, because they're living in a place that's not good for their families. If you're okay with that, you understand that, then fight for us to find a better way to make immigration work. Fight for that. Don't fight for keeping everybody out, because then we all have to leave.
The projection going on in almost everything that she said is so incredible. She's talking about rounding people up in camps. I'm like, your guy is the guy who's weaponized the entire FBI and DOJ against half of the country. You've got the FBI coming at, putting families at gunpoint because a pro-life guy wanted to go protest a Planned Parenthood. I mean, I can't even, you're throwing people in prison for decades because they waved an American flag in the Capitol and walked out and left, and non-violently. Like, what kind of projection is this that Trump's the guy who is going to somehow weaponize his position?
For 4 years, Donald Trump had a chance to show this inner tyrant. It never showed, whereas the Democrats seem to be taking him off ballots and throwing every legal trick at him they can. I saw a poll just yesterday that surprised me, and I think one of the most surprising things I've seen in American politics is the transformation of someone who I'm going to guess everyone around this table made some jokes about recently, Senator Fetterman from Pennsylvania, who surprises. I don't know if you've been following in the last few months. He's still a Democrat, but he's avoided all of that crazy talk. He's avoided the woke extremism. He's sort of the anti-squad, and he's he's saying he's for Israel, fighting back against terrorism. He talked about pinkos the other day. When was the last time you heard a Democrat use the word pinkos? And he's not wild. He's coming across as a sensible working class Democrat. And you're going to say, Ezra, there's no such thing. Well, actually, there sort of was. There was a time when Democrats and Republicans were sort of close to the middle of the bell curve. The Republicans, I don't think, have moved particularly to the right. But holy moly, has the center of the Democrats moved far left. I was just watching Whoopi, and I thought, that's just the crazy woke. And I was thinking about your question: who's watching this? Who's consuming this? But the poll I showed suggested Fetterman may actually be the most popular senator in America right now. I don't know, but I've never seen a transformation of a guy move to the right after being elected. And of course, he had the stroke and things like that. I don't know. Maybe he's healing. Yeah. Maybe he's getting sharper or something. Yeah. It's just, I don't know if you've noticed it, but
for sure.
We have.
For sure.
It,
well, and I mean, how scary is it then, to Ezra's point, Yaku, how scary is it that John Fetterman seems to be the adult in the room? the giant in the hoodie.
Can we go there? Because by no means would I ever agree with the most moderate liberal back in 1957 and 65. You know, this is still the people that brought us Kinsey and Hefner and Love is Love movement and you know, with Fauci back then, even with AZT and HIV. But Fetterman is just that guy now. And it looks almost conservative. Yeah. Mm-hmm. But we must very quickly remind ourselves that it's not. Yeah. But it looks that way, and that it's a clear indicator. It's a plumb line to show how far the left has moved. Compare Fetterman to Whoopi. This is a certifiably insane woman. She's out of her mind. Completely out of her mind. But
people will listen to her.
She has lost her marbles. She doesn't even make sense. She contradicts herself. Look, there's a deep, dark hurt in that woman. Yeah. That when did Trump send rounding people in camps? I can show you camps. I can show you what Biden's doing. I can show you how when our Congress, when Mike Johnson goes down to the border, he holds 13,000 migrants in a camp in Mexico and doesn't allow them to cross, because I was there, doesn't allow them to cross over because nothing to see here. And the next morning, release them from the camp. So no, Barack Obama building cages, right? It's projection, you nailed it, to the nth degree.
Yeah.
If you like that clip, there is plenty more where that came from. Click the link in the description below to subscribe to the News and Why It Matters YouTube channel to watch the full episode.